Hi folks.
Hiya.
How are you doing? Do you know, it feels weird not having a Christmas tree just in the corner. And we've decided we're going to talk about television, TV, because everyone enjoyed TV Times Christmas talk. Well, it was Radio Times. So what I've done is I've put together a list of our favourite programmes, and I didn't realise there was as many as there was. Some of these programmes no longer exist, they've finished, but you can get them all and catch up, can't you?
Yeah, you can get a lot of them on like Netflix or Amazon or
Yeah.
any kind of catch-up programmes, as I said.
So I've split them into categories as well: dramas, comedy, true life, and reality TV. So where should we start? Should we start with dramas?
Yeah, can do, yeah.
It feels weird just talking about telly. But, right, our first one is Rookie, The Rookie. Who else watches The Rookie? You told me about The Rookie originally, didn't you?
Yeah, because I was like Castle. And I'd got you into Castle, didn't I?
Yeah. You'd got me into Castle.
After it finished.
I liked Castle. Who else liked Castle? I think as well, we both Castle and The Rookie. For although it can be dark at times, it's feel-good TV. It's something that you can just, I think, switch off from. It's very easy to just watch it and just flow with it.
Well, Castle was just got good old whodunit, wasn't it, basically? You know what I mean? Stuff like, we were like that in the Murdoch Mysteries. We were liking that, we were enjoying that, weren't we? I think that's still going, actually. We've not
I get Murdoch Mysteries down on here,
No, yeah.
I don't know, that went a bit weird.
We fell out of love with it, I think, through COVID. I think the production seemed to go down, didn't it, through COVID or after COVID or anything. And we just got put off and the stories didn't seem to be as good. But we used to enjoy those because it kind of brought modern day technology into like 1900s. Well, 1900s, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It turned a century.
1800s, late 18, early 19.
Yeah, it turned a century kind of thing, wasn't it, I think, in the end. But yeah, I really enjoyed that. I forgot what's the guy's name out of Castle?
Nathan Fillion. Is it Nathan Fillion?
Yeah, Flynn, whatever.
He is good. And Rookie's back. He is back this year, isn't it?
I think so. I'm assuming that. I think they left it on a massive cliffhanger. And it was a very dark ending, if I remember.
I actually can't remember the ending of the last one.
You know, because it went. They started getting attacked by those people with masks on.
Oh yeah.
It was very, very dark. It was a very dark
I forgot
ending.
that. It did go dark.
It was like something out of a Batman film rather than a cop drama.
Weird. Our next one is Gotham. Again, this is one that there's three now that you've got me into.
Yeah.
Gotham's finished.
Yeah, so that's like a Batman prequel set in the mythical town of Gotham, where Batman's based, which is, I think, based on New York.
I think Gotham's meant to be New York.
I think Gotham's meant to be New York. Yeah. I think.
Yeah, I think it is.
It definitely counts that hint in that TV program with all the island and all the bridges. I think at some stage they blow all the bridges off to the island, don't they, and trap everybody on the main island and stuff.
I did like that, and actually we were quite disappointed that it finished. And crazy fact, did you know that the woman in that plays, you'll know her name, she played Dodie's girlfriend in The Crown.
Dodie's girlfriend.
Barbara. Oh, she played the...
What, Commissioner's wife?
Yeah, no, his first girlfriend that he dumps her, doesn't he?
He does in that, but he's his wife in the Batman films, Barbara.
Yeah, Barbara.
I've forgotten his name now. Oh, God. What's the
Commissioner Graham?
Commissioner Graham, yeah.
Is it?
I think so,
Is it? Well, the one that played his girlfriend, who actually becomes his wife in the proper Batman stories, she played Dodie's...
She did, didn't she?
Yeah,
she did, yeah.
She played Dodie's girlfriend, you know, Kelly Fisher, in The Crown. It's sad because she plays a good jilted lover, doesn't she? She goes a bit
typecast, isn't she? I think.
I actually do miss Gotham.
It was good, wasn't it? It's very obviously comic strip, comic book. That's the word I'm looking for. Quite dark, but there's some very good actors in there, and the good portrayals of the Penguin. He's brilliant in it, wasn't he?
Yeah.
And the guy who plays the Riddler, and they were all really, really good. I think some of the films has been a bit of a dodgy characterizations of some of these characters. I think Jim Carrey did all right as Riddler.
Yeah.
But
The Riddler was good in the Gotham. I
yeah,
thought.
yeah. Oh, he was brilliant. He was. But I think Jim Carrey did all right in the films. But I think was it Danny DeVito that played the Penguin in the films? It was bad. That. Sorry, Danny, but it was bad.
Yeah.
I don't think Danny DeVito will be watching this vlog, but
No,
I'm sorry,
yeah,
Danny, but it's not good. What else? Where are we moving on from Gotham?
New Year's Eve, we wanted to watch something, didn't we? I went into bedroom to read, and we decided we were going to stay up and watch the fireworks that were absolutely appalling. They were the worst year, we think, don't we?
Yeah, the
fireworks were
London
just horrible.
fireworks weren't that cracking, were they? Let's face it. They could have spent money on something else like the NHS or something, you know what I mean? But anyhow, I think they had better shows in other countries. I think I saw the Sydney ones, and they look really good.
Sydney's always good, I think.
Yeah, they look brilliant. I don't think I saw the New York ones. If they did have any fireworks, or maybe they didn't. I don't know. I'm sure they did. But I did see the Sydney ones, and they looked so much better than the London ones, and I'm just a bit disappointed, really.
Yeah.
Well, we digress.
We were flicking through the telly to find something to watch, and I am really good at being drawn to programmes, and I just got drawn to Screw on Channel 4, and it's based on a male prison. Is it Cat? What cat is it? Is it Cat Day? Is it?
I don't know.
It's where they're locked up. The murderers. You know, they're not. It's not an open prison. It's a locked up prison. Anyway, honestly, we have never gone through a series that's 2 series in a week. You couldn't breathe watching it. It was absolutely.
I don't know. I think we did
brilliant.
Gotham quite quick.
I don't know. Not as quick as we did that. You could not breathe. I think the guy that wrote it is a screenwriter, and he went to a prison, or he did some volunteer work in a prison, and he loosely based Screw on the stuff he saw in prison. But every actor, it's very rare you get a drama where every actor touches you in one way or another. They were shown so multi-dimensional, weren't they? And yeah.
Right down to the guy who knew everything that was going on in the prison called Google.
Yeah.
His nickname was Google.
If you wanted to know it, you went to Google. What else was there? Was another one as well? There was other. It was just, yeah. And it showed like an undercover copper going in and all the darkness that can go on around that. But it also showed you the good side of the prison, because it's not all dark.
Yeah, the
hope that's there.
The hope to rehabilitate criminals, basically, because end of the day, it's just a conveyor belt for them to commit a crime again. If they're just getting banged up and what they're punished, that's it, punished, or what's the other word I'm looking for? Avenged. Yeah. They're getting punished, they're getting, what's the word? I can't think of the word.
No, I do it all the time. It's almost like you were sat there going, I really enjoy it. And
it's good.
Fingers crossed there is a series 3 coming.
Yeah, that's just hope it's not one of those series where they leave it on a cliffhanger and they never do another series and they leave it there. There's so many. I'm sure everybody's went through COVID and went through all the series on Netflix where they just end and then never start again.
Or they do what they did with Wentworth and butcher it and ruin it and take it too dark. I find that with a lot of the prison stuff. They take it to Wentworth. Remember Wentworth, Australian drama.
Oh right, yeah.
Based on Cell Block H.
Yeah, the women's one, the women's version of it.
I loved that. I loved probably not as much as like Scotch, but I absolutely loved it at the time. Absolutely waited all year, and then one year it was the year that Queen Bee Smith got killed. Ferguson stabbed her. And it was just, after that, it just so much shifted and I couldn't watch it, could I?
It got quite dark, didn't it, I think?
It just pushed it and pushed it and pushed it. Anyway.
Moving on for darkness.
To something really light, All Creatures. All Creatures Great and Small, which is an absolutely work of art, I think. From a real person who did a real job, and we are now watching the new season of it. There's the old season that we watched, the 1970s.
Yeah. We did 1970s, 1980s with Peter Davison and I've forgotten the other guys' names now.
I can't remember.
Can't remember.
It's just...
I'm sure somebody will tell us. I remember them when I see the names. But the originals were brilliant because they're really good stories. And a lot of them are based on his original stories, aren't they? A lot of the episodes. I think on this new one, because he's not obviously died, they can maybe be a bit more adventurous with the stories as well, and maybe come up with new stuff.
Yeah.
I think they were a bit. It kind of stuck to the stories
Yeah,
on the original BBC one.
He didn't want them to change it, did he? Which I can see why, because you see so many TV productions ruin things now, and film productions that ruin books and butcher books.
Yeah.
But it's obviously based on All Creatures Great and Small by James Herriot. And it just really is feel-good television. It's almost like it's escapism, like Rocky and Castle, but a different type of escapism.
Yeah, it's just nice.
Bygone era.
Yeah, it's bygone era. Fluffy, bit of drama, bit of not much kind of trepidation.
And we've been to the museum as well, because you can go to where the vets was that Malham or Malton? North Yorkshire.
I think it's Malham.
You can Google it. And we took loads of pictures. It was actually this time last year. I think it was 27th of December last year. The year before.
Yeah, we did it on the way back, didn't we, from Christmas.
Even that's the best museum I've been around. His children are part of that. And the attention to detail that's in that museum is mind-blowing.
Yeah, it was a really good museum, yeah. I don't think it was very expensive either, was it? I think it was... I think you paid anyway, so I probably didn't notice.
Next one is Downton Abbey. So that's one of my favourites, isn't it?
Yes, it's one of Claire's favourites.
You've never... I used to love Downton Abbey. But the weird thing is, since the films have come out, I'm not as into it as I was. I'm not into it as I was, but obviously Downton Abbey was a famous thing. It's a famous programme worldwide. And I've been to Highclere Castle. I went on a TV tour to Highclere Castle years ago. And the story of that house was about to go into rack and ruin. And was it Julian Fellows? Yeah, it's Julian Fellows, isn't it? I always get him mixed up with Diana's brother-in-law, because he's a Fellows as well. And he actually stayed at the house, and it was in rack and ruin. They were about to, I think, as far as like in financial ruin. And he said, "I'm going to do some writing. Can I come and stay there?" And they said, "Okay, it's an arrest." So he went to Downton, obviously Highclere, and he wrote Downton Abbey, based it there. And he says, "Let's give it a whirl." And they were like, "Okay then." And
I've watched some of the old. Yeah. I do like that kind of stuff. Yeah. I do agree. I think the series are better than films. I think the films obviously just try to put a whole story into an hour and a half. Whereas the series, it can spread it out over 5-6 hours, can't they? But it's like, I don't know, 6 or 7 episodes, and it's a lot more duration in a series than they can do in a film, and do it more justice.
I think as well the theme tune does stuff to you, I think.
But yeah, it's just like any adaptation of books. I think a lot of time they seem to be better when they do TV series. I mean, I don't know if we wrote it down. Oh, we have. It's further down. The Reacher books have just done.
Yeah.
We've watched the first season of that, haven't we? And we've not watched the second yet. I'm waiting for the last couple of episodes to drop so we can watch them all at once. Because sometimes it's much better to just watch them all rather than watching week on week. And, as you get older in age, you forget what happens, don't you? And you watch something else or get involved with something else. You're constantly trying to remember what's happened. So sometimes it's better just to do it all in one weekend. It's like 8 episodes. It's like watching 4 films or something like that. But yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Might have to reapply for his Amazon Prime to get it though.
Yeah. Next one for you is Blue Bloods, isn't it? That's yours.
I love Blue Bloods,
He loves Blue Bloods.
Yeah, Tom Selleck's brilliant in that. Tom Selleck, it's Donnie Wahlberg. I can't remember the other names. The daughter's John Wick's wife. It's a film. Really, the really mental action films.
Yeah,
that you don't like.
No, I don't. Some of your films I don't like, do I?
No. It's yeah, but yeah, it's really good. There's some really good stories all about police force in New York City. and it's like a police family, which are obviously blue bloods. I think one the daughter's the district attorney. Tom Selleck's a dad, and he's like commissioner of the police. Donnie Wahlberg's like a detective, and then there's another son who's like a beat copper. And it's just really good. It just gives you a full aspect of all the police force in New York, but it's also they all end up round the dinner table at the end of every episode, which I think is quite cute.
Yeah, I should try and get into it, but I think it's one of those there's that many episodes or seasons.
Oh, I think we're in season 14 or something stupid like that, and there's like 20 episodes a season.
I tried to catch up with Suits after the wedding. The wedding, yeah. I couldn't do it, could I? I can't catch up on seasons.
No, we struggle. I mean, I think we just managed that Gotham, and that was 6 seasons, and that's 20 odd episodes a season.
Yeah.
And when you start getting 20, 24 episodes a season, it's a lot to catch up on, isn't it? Even if they're only 45 minutes, but it's still quite a lot. But they are good stories. You don't really need to catch up. You can just pick them up whenever you want.
Could do.
And just start watching them. They're good. Good stories.
I like to watch YouTube now as well, so I'm torn. Do you know what we've forgotten on here?
What's that?
Last Kingdom and Vikings.
We have, haven't we?
Last Kingdom and Vikings.
Again, Last Kingdom, the Bernard Cornwell books.
Destroyed it in a film.
What do you mean they destroyed it in the film?
They destroyed it in the film, in the last film.
Oh, yeah.
They did. I thought they did anyway. I didn't like that ending.
Yeah, they went through about 3 or 4 books in an hour and a half. And it's like, what are you doing? There's some really good books there. And he never aged. Richard never aged, really. Which he does in the books.
He gets to about 80s in his book.
He's in his 60s or something like that at least. And obviously the books are spread over the time period as Alfred and Edward's reigns are going on. But he didn't seem to age in these, which was a bit disappointing. They were good. It were a good series. I think the last, like you said, the film, I think they just wanted to get it smashed off. Maybe they couldn't get all the actors together again, and they could only do it for a certain time. Yeah. And they couldn't do a full season. I don't know, but
some people loved the ending of that. But I don't know. It was a bit of a strange one, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Did he die? Did he live? Oh, he eventually dies, obviously.
Yeah, but he's still alive in the books.
True. Yeah.
I mean, he nearly dies in like one of the books, but he comes back and then again, that's quite a big story in the book that he's struggling for a whole book. Where he's can't fight, you know what I mean? And he's really struggling because he's coming back from a serious injury, serious battle injury. But yeah, and the Vikings were good.
We went
they were bloodthirsty though. That's a bloodthirsty series, isn't it?
Yeah.
Some quite dark scenes in that.
Yeah.
But I think my favourite scene's in Paris. They take Paris. Yeah. That's brilliant. That I won't say it because I don't want to spoil it. But he uses a very innovative way to take Paris. Does Ragnar Lothbrok. It's quite a good scene.
We've been to where they film Kattegat. You know the sailing to it. The sailing, not the actual village of Kattegat, which is based in Ireland, but the mountains.
The fjord,
fjord.
where the fjords are.
We've been there, and it is eerie, isn't it?
It is eerie, yeah, and lonely. But the internet connection's fantastic.
Yeah,
unbelievable. In the middle of a fjord in Norway, 5G, unbelievable.
Everywhere, best internet I've ever had anywhere.
It's like, what are you doing? You can't get 5G in Southampton Harbour. You're lucky if you can get an internet connection, but in the middle of a fjord in Norway, you've got 5G. Now, whether they've got towers disguised as trees or what, I just don't know, but you can't see any towers or anything.
No, it's...
Anybody from Norway, please tell me how you do it, because it's fantastic. It's unbelievable.
And it's everywhere. Well, we found it everywhere, didn't we?
Yeah, every fjord. There just didn't seem to be a black spot for internet. I just don't know how they do it. And it wasn't the ship's internet either, because that's rubbish as well, usually. This was like there. It was just there. It was in the airwaves, and I've no idea how they do it.
Yeah.
I think we need to learn a thing or two about that in this country.
Definitely. And apparently, my mum and dad's, what was it? Not Amazon delivery, shop delivery man the other day was a extra in Vikings, and he looked like a Viking as well.
He did, didn't he?
Yeah. Small world.
It is a very small world.
House of Dragon or Dragons.
So the prequel to Game of Thrones. You never watched Game of Thrones, did you?
No, I didn't, did I?
No, again, another quite a long season. I think it's 6 seasons, that Game of Thrones, if I remember. Very disappointing ending. Very, very disappointing ending. Oh, that 6. I don't know how many episodes per season, and they were quite long episodes. Very drawn out, very Lord of the Rings. And the ending, very disappointed. Very disappointed.
Yeah, you've said that, didn't you?
Yeah,
But
it was a long. It was a long journey for that ending.
Yeah, what's House of Dragon like compared to that though?
It's difficult to tell because it's not ended yet.
No, yeah, true.
Well, I kind of know how it ends because I know how Game of Thrones starts, but so I kind of have an idea of how it's going to end. Yeah, Doctor Who's good in it.
Prince Philip
and Doctor. I've forgotten his name now. What's his name?
Matt Smith.
Matt Smith. Really good in it. Yeah, it's seeming all right. House of Dragons. See how it goes. There's obviously we can put more dragony stuff in and all that kind of stuff. See how that one pans
There's a
out.
new episode of that new series coming up.
I think that's due. Yeah, I think it's due this year. Definitely. 100%. White Lotus.
Oh, do you know I hate that White Lotus, but I love it. But I haven't been able to finish the last season. It's just sick.
Yeah, we're disappointed, weren't we?
It's gonna be again. It's just gone too far. I think the whole thing on holiday. I can see how a writer could look on a holiday and write so much because so much comes up on a holiday. Okay. It's like Christmas. There's so much expectation, and so much can go wrong. And food, everything. Relationships, friendships, marriages, all kinds of things. But it just, that last season for me, it was just too much.
Well, there just didn't seem to be anything going off, really.
No, it was a bit debauchery, but rather there was no storyline to it or anything, was there?
Yeah, maybe it happened at the end, but the first season was brilliant. The guy, the hotel manager from the first season, how they killed him off in the first season. It was like... What did you do that for? What did you do that for? It was brilliant.
And then when they brought it back, the new hotel manager, I didn't like her. She odd, wasn't she?
No, it was very Godfather Part 3, wasn't it? It was just all subtitles. You know what I mean? You
can't get into it, and I think that's another problem with it. You just couldn't. I struggle with that. You know, when YouTube videos and they do vlogs, and it's all just words and music. And you've got to read the words. I've come off channels like that because I can't. I'm either watching or I'm listening. I can't read, and that just.
Yeah, it kind of ruins it a bit, doesn't it? I mean, it doesn't really. It was set in Italy. It was set in Italy, but it doesn't need to speak Italian. You know what I mean? You know what I mean, don't you? It's Godfather Part 3 was the same. I think it's Is it Godfather Part 2 or 3 where there's a lot of Italian in there. I'm being harsh, aren't I? But
yeah, it was.
But you know,
it wasn't that because if it's got the right actors in, it can be good. But it just didn't have that. And if it didn't have a storyline, there wasn't a storyline there neither, really. No. Apart from 2 dirty old men that went away and
it was the
with
amount
the kids and the grandkids, and it was just.
Pardon me. It was the amount of Sopranos, wasn't it? The father.
Yeah.
I'm rubbish with actors now. I'm rubbish with names all the time, so I won't even start on that one. So I've just started watching this one, Poker Face.
I have no idea what it is.
Sky. So it's a lady who can tell if people are lying. Is that right? And she can tell that people are lying, and she can and it's kind of a weird Miss Marple. Yeah. And so something happens, somebody gets murdered or something like that, and then she's kind of gets put in the story, and she can see that somebody's lying. For example, I didn't kill him. Oh, he did. And then she's got it's kind of like Miss Marple cross between what was that detective with Mac?
Vera.
Columbo.
Oh.
It's very Columbo because you know who the murderer is, like at Columbo. You know who's done it because it shows you if it's a robbery or a murder, usually a murder. It shows you who's done it, and you've got to watch her work it out by seeing people if they're lying or not lying and all that kind of stuff, and having conversations with people. It's very interesting. Yes, I think there's another programme that I used to watch called Lie to Me. That was quite similar, about somebody who can tell if people are lying or not. So it's kind of that cross between Columbo, I'd have said. If that makes any sense at all.
Yeah.
But yeah, I enjoyed that. Hopefully there'll be a season 2 of that. It seemed quite good. I can't remember the lady's name off the top of my head who's in it, but she's very good.
A lot of American actors now tend to, I don't know if there's American actors in there, but like movie actors are tending to go into seasons now and series rather than films, aren't they?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if there's more money in it or whether it's just, they're struggling to get into the films or what, and it's just an easy transition. I mean, they're doing adverts and all sorts now at top celebrity actors, aren't they? You know what I mean? You've got George Clooney selling coffee machines. You know what I mean? It's like they've transitioned from perfumes and aftershaves to selling anything. I mean, we've had a few big A-list actors on doing Warburton's bread. And, Tetley's, not Tetley's tea, Yorkshire tea. Patrick Stewart's been on Yorkshire tea, hasn't he? I think Samuel L. Jackson's been doing Warburton's.
Yeah.
Peter Kay did it once, I think. I think quite a lot of people have done the celebrity endorsement of Warburton's bread, but I digress again.
The Crown. I loved The Crown last time. I know some people don't like it, but I think, to be quite honest, I think it was well done. I think it's been controversial in parts, but I think it could have been a lot worse, to be honest. It could have gone down a lot of rabbit holes.
I just had a thought on this one. We could do another vlog. Keep calling them blogs, the vlogs. Because you love the theme tune for this, don't you? We could do another vlog on theme tunes
the
of
Crown
series.
theme tune. He likes to whiz things on. I love it when the Crown comes. I love that Crown theme tune. You've got to listen to that. Last season finished me off with that Diana death. And I know she obviously dies in it, but how they did that was... I don't want to say it was amazing, wasn't it? It was amazing. I mean, amazing. Obviously, it's not an amazing death, but just how they did it, I think, was done well. Even, and I know it was quite a brutal scene, and I nearly could have thrown up when they did it. Even the crash scene where she's whizzing past, and you see the fella that comes out of his flat, and he's walking his dog, and he sees the cars come past, and then you can hear the crash, and it's just like, it gets you, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. And then the ending with the Queen as well.
Oh, that was good.
And obviously, they're ending at a point in time where she's probably got another 10 years in her, hasn't she? Maybe longer.
Longer.
Yeah, 10, 15 years. But they kind of kill her off as well, as it were. And Philip, where they're planning the funerals and things, and they kind of get the Queen's and Philip's funeral in there, even though they technically not happened yet.
That last season was that last episode was clever.
Sorry if you've not seen it yet, but it has already happened as well, so it is very Titanic.
Because I did say, didn't I? I did say that I don't know how they're going to finish it off, the Crown, and I said, why can't they carry it on? Because the Crown's still there. But obviously they meant the Crown was Elizabeth and not Charles the third. Yeah.
Yeah, it's based around her life, isn't it, really? And obviously they decided not to see it right to the end because she was still alive when they wrote it. So they did it up to where they thought, so.
Weird that, I just thought of that because she was...
She was still alive, wasn't it? My mum keeps thinking they're going to do another season, but I don't know.
I don't think they can. I don't think they want to go too near to modern day.
I know, there's a lot of drama they could still do, but hey ho, let's see. I'm sure if there's money in it, and there's the want to do it, people would do it.
They're meant to be focusing on this. The same writers are meant to be doing the same now, but with the Kennedys.
The Kennedys, that could be interesting. See who can get to play those characters.
Yeah. I tell you what though, in previous things to do with the Kennedys, they've always been quite good.
God, that'd be another big death scene as well, won't it?
Yeah.
Flip a duck. So they're flipping out the British with Diana's death, and then going to flip out America showing Kennedy's death.
Yeah, we'll do it as well. God. I think what's the film called, Jackie, with Natalie Portman in? They show it in that as well, don't they? You actually feel like you're in the car.
Oh, that's great. That's quite grim, that, because she's just covered in him, isn't she?
Yeah.
As well.
You actually feel like, I felt like you were in that car.
Yeah, I nearly threw up, I think, when we saw that, but that was pretty good. But I presume that's what it was like. It would have been grim. God.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm assuming they'll do that. God. Right, moving on from that.
Into Luther. You brought me into Luther, didn't you?
I did,
That's gone dark and crazy.
Yeah, it was, again, it was always had that little dark tinge to it, and, you know, what did he call himself? The police. The police. But yeah, it was good. And, you know, he was that detective that you'd always root for, and you could get behind. And actually, if somebody had committed a crime against you, he's the man you'd want turning up at your door to solve the crime for you. You know what I mean? He's the man you'd want to get all behind it and get all his energy behind it, because he wouldn't stop until he sorted it out. And yeah, it got a lot of far-fetched. I think the last series was quite far-fetched. And I think, what was her out of The Affair? Another programme.
Yeah, The Affair. Did you like that?
That was brilliant.
I loved that.
Ruth Wilson?
I can't remember.
Something like that. Ruth Wilson, I think she is. And she's played two great characters. Very femme fatale in Luther. And I think she was a big loss out of Luther, I think. Maybe they couldn't keep her in it all the time, but maybe she was filming The Affair at the time as well. What's his name out of The Affair? I've forgotten his name now.
They called him Fred West, but he's not. He's played Fred West.
Dominic West. He's brilliant.
Charles. He
just plays these really good sleazy characters, doesn't he? You know, he's Fred West. He's played Prince Charles. He's pretty sleazy in The Affair because he has The Affair.
Brassic, sleazy doctor.
Yeah, he's a proper sleazy doctor in Brassic, isn't he? And
we've got to come to Brassic eventually, haven't we?
Yeah, and he was quite sleazy in what was the cop show he played? The Undercover, they're about drugs.
Have I watched it?
You've probably not seen it. No, it was quite big in the 90s. Have they said, what was it called now? Oh God, I can't remember that.
Yeah.
Probably like a quiz question when somebody asks you that question. Dominic West was in the drama series. I'll look it up. You talk about something else.
Well, we've got Reacher, Vera. I like Vera.
You talk about Vera. I'll look up Dominic West. Because that's going to do my head in.
Yeah. Who else loves Vera? But apparently she has got a new detective now, hasn't she? She's got a new sidekick, which I didn't know she was going to do. But that's based in the northeast of England, Northumberland, around that area. And again, it's feel good. It's good acting, but it doesn't go too far into the dark. Have you found it?
Yeah, The Wire. It's called The Wire. Yeah, it's very big in. Well, it's very, very big in the noughties actually, and it was about undercover cops and things. I think Luther was in that as well. I think what's his Idris Elba. I think Idris Elba is in The Wire as well. I can't remember which. Does he play a drug dealer or some kind of? I don't think he plays a cop in The Wire. I play some go-between or something. But yeah, he's in The Wire as well. It's a very good series. Sorry.
And you like Reacher and Joe Pickett, don't you?
Yeah, Reacher we've talked about already because I digressed into Reacher. And another one that's based on books that I've watched is the Joe Pickett books. And the author, it slips my mind. Is it something Rab? Jake? Something? Let me look it up. I won't be a minute. I'm hoping there's a season 3 because I've enjoyed the first 2. And it's not telling me on this, it's just coming up with a series. You can keep talking if you want, so we don't have dead
comedy
air.
Next. We've done Vera, we're on to favourite comedy. So we'll start with Brassic. I like Brassic. It's, although sometimes I do think it gets a little bit too daft, but it manages to pull itself round. And that again is following a group of people from the same walk of life, but different walks of life as well. They've all got a different backstory. And they're all lovable, aren't they? Really, even all the characters, even though they're all Jack the lads, aren't they? They are, aren't they?
Yeah.
And that's where Dominic West is. He plays the doctor.
Yeah, he just has a bit of a cameo in it every now and again,
Yeah.
doesn't he? As his doctor, Vinny's doctor.
And it goes in one of the main Vinny. He's got bipolar, and they represent that really well, don't they?
Yeah.
They cover that really well. The fact that there's a lot of young people that are struggling like that from backgrounds, because it goes into his background, doesn't it? And what made him who he was.
Yeah.
And there's the Farmer Jim, that's crazy. He's an absolute card, isn't he?
Yeah, he comes out with some right rants, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's brilliant. Just to go back to Joe Pickett, the author's called CJ Box, and he does a lot of westerny kind of stuff. But the Joe Pickett books are about a game warden who's well, I think when things go wrong, it says it goes western, and he gets his shotgun out. But yeah, it's a very good book series, and I think they've done quite a good job on that on the TV adaptations. I think they've done quite a few like that.
Some things really go well on TV. But I remember when I went to see The Other Boleyn Girl years ago, Philippa Gregory, and I'd not read the books with it. I thought that was an amazing thing. And then I read the book and I was like, I'm quite shit really, to be quite honest.
So I've also wanted to redo the Dresden Files by Jim Butcher. They've tried a series of it and it was not very good. I think it got axed after its first season. I think the guy playing Harry Dresden was too old. Yeah, and it was very disappointing. And it could be very Harry Potter, you know what I mean? But for an adult audience rather than kiddies, really. But yeah, disappointing.
Yeah, there's a lot of adult Harry Potter coming out now in the bookland.
There's
a lot of Harry Potter fans are now adults and they're wanting to carry on that.
I don't know if the Dresden Files was pre-Harry Potter. No. Interesting.
There's a lot of books, isn't there?
Yeah.
Afterlife,
yeah.
I didn't realise this was a comedy.
It's a comedy, Ricky Gervais, isn't
I
it?
didn't think it was.
There's loads of
His wife died,
comedians.
doesn't she? Yeah, they are,
comedians in it, aren't there? It's very dark comedy.
Yeah,
it's a dark comedy drama, isn't it? He's a funny man, isn't he? But he gets a bit close to the bone at times.
We watched it. When did we watch it? Christmas.
Was it Armageddon? His latest one or something? And it was Armageddon. He took everybody down.
He took everybody down, and he got very close to the bone, didn't he?
I think if you don't realise that's what he does, that's his comedy, to get that reaction out of people.
Yeah.
And that's what he does. Did he do the Oscars? Has he done the Oscars a few times, or the
he's
Golden Globes?
The Oscars,
and took down A-list celebrities, hasn't he? He's took them downtown, I think. And I think if people take him a bit too seriously sometimes, because he is a comedian, you know what I mean, and you know, he's supposed to be funny.
Yeah.
If you start to try and take too much meaning in it, it's not a Shakespearean play.
Yeah.
He is a comedian, and you're supposed to look for the gag, not for the meaning.
Well, no, I looked for the meaning when I heard that. Anyway, True Life. Oh, In Between Us. We've got In Between Us first, haven't we?
Yeah.
Comedy.
Yeah, we used to love In Between Us, didn't we? You know, done 3 or 4 seasons of it, based on 4 lads going through school. Just adolescent stupidity, really, isn't it?
But it worked.
Yeah, you could relate to it though. That's the thing. Everybody could relate to one of the characters in that series. They've got a nerdy character. They've got one that thinks he's all that and he lies all the time, just to try and big himself up. You've got one that just blasé about life, and then you've got the other one who just like an ordinary lad who's just trying to get the girl. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's good, and they've done like 2 films on it, and obviously the actors grew up, so you know they can only do it for so long, can't they?
I don't think they could do it now.
No, I think it'd be too woke, wouldn't it? He could. It would be though, wouldn't it? You know what I mean? I don't think they could do the stories that they did on the In Betweeners.
No, they could.
I don't think they could. What?
But yeah, it would. It would. I don't think it'd work now.
No, I think they'd struggle. I think they'd struggle a lot of things. You know what I mean? And I think that's what Ricky Gervais is trying to bring out in his comedy as well. Sod it, I can say these things because I'm saying it because I'm doing it in the comedy element in it. I'm not racist. I'm not homophobic. I'm not gender neutral against or all like that. You know what I mean? He's just trying to, you know, tell a gag at the end of the day. But yeah.
You think of a lot of this telly though. Can it, stand the test of time? Because I've said myself, there's quite a big list here. There's not as lot as what most people watch. A lot of people watch a lot more than this.
I used to watch a lot more than this.
But I think a lot of telly is going weird. Anyway.
I think some of it does tend to stand the test of time. Some of it does. I mean, that Gotham pretty much does, if you think about it. Because it's unreality, as it were. When I watched the Superman films just recently, and they've not really stood the test of time at all.
Have they not?
No,
Why?
not really. Their special effects are just terrible, aren't they? I mean, poor old Christopher Reeve, great Superman, but the budgets in those films, it's not exactly Batman versus Superman. You know what I mean? It's just a bit, At the time when they were out, they were brilliant. You know what I mean? But they've just... A lot of these films just don't stand the test of time if they haven't got the story behind them. I don't think. But...
Yeah. True Life.
True Life.
I think last year for True Life was amazing. 2 programmes. I waited and waited.
Which one was
and
True
waited.
Life? I don't remember that.
Long Shadow and The Reckoning.
Oh, right. I thought that was the name of a TV programme.
No, True Life. Long Shadow was based on it was a retelling of the Yorkshire Ripper murders, Peter Sutcliffe murders in Yorkshire in the 70s and the 80s. And we started off really liking it, then we found it a bit of a slump, and then we got really into it, didn't we? But again, it shows you a time that's gone, but there's still elements of it that's still out there today. And the brutality of it, not just the man himself, Peter, but the system, the brutality of the system. The darkness of the system in that as well.
Well, it was just a male chauvinist police, wasn't it, at the time?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The 80s, coppers, 70s and 80s. Which 70s?
70s and 80s.
Yeah, it's just, another TV series it reminds me of that is the Life on Mars.
I've watched that.
Which is like a time-travelling police drama with Philip Glenister and another actor, I can't remember his name. He's been in Doctor Who and all sorts. He's been in all sorts and I can't remember his name. I'm sure somebody will remind me of his name. Who plays the main character in Life of Mars. But that's very similar. Philip Glenister plays a male chauvinist kind of old school 80s Sweeney-esque copper. Another series there talking about driving a Audi Quattro sports car.
Yeah,
it's very Starsky and Hutch. Again, just recently lost either Starsky or Hutch. I think he's just died, the main actor. Again, sorry, the name goes against me. But
it's sad really because you think actually because he was. Though they say there was also male victims, but it was predominantly female. But the females had no matter what part of life you came from actually, whether you were a working girl. Housewife, schoolgirl, they were biased anyway, weren't they?
It just seemed a bit weird because he spent like 2 episodes on like 2 other victims, and then just flew through all the others, and it's like, okay, shouldn't we just concentrate? Can't we treat all the victims the same?
Yeah,
because they're all victims of the same man. Why do more coverage on some victims than the others, which seemed a bit strange.
That's what happened at the time. Some women got more coverage than others. And also I spoke to Mel about it, and she said it got to a stage where it was just, not that you became immune to it, but it just like, it all merged into one. Because it was just like, all the time. And I think that's what they were trying to show.
Yeah, okay.
That it was just... some attention went, like the first ones, when it first happened, it was like, everybody, and it was like, it's only killing prostitutes. That's not my words. But it was like, we're fine.
That was their words.
Worry.
That was their words. The male chauvinist police at the time.
And society's words as well, and all men and women had that view. We're all right. I'll be all right. I'm a married woman, but it was shock horror because nobody in that age had ever experienced that. So that first 1, 2, 3, and then afterwards it was like, they were all just fearful of themselves then because they realised that actually he's going for anyone that's female, any age.
Well, and at the end he was just going anybody who's there, wasn't he? Really, anybody who could get his claw hammer on. Details.
And then,
Jimmy.
We're going to Jimmy. The Reckoning. Another Yorkshireman gone bad.
Steve Coogan. We could digress in a minute on Steve Coogan.
Why?
I love Steve Coogan. He's brilliant.
The Reckoning. I loved that. I did love that. I could actually watch that again, and The Long Shadow. Probably Long Shadow because it went on a long time. Long Shadow, but The Reckoning, they did it quite quick and snappy with that, and I'm glad they did it like that. They didn't stick. Whereas the Long Shadow was quite long, and there was a middle bit of it that was like, are we going to carry on watching this because this is just getting drawn out? Whereas Reckoning, they were like boom, 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 boom. Yeah, I think that was the best way to do it. But it got to a stage where you didn't know which was Jimmy and which was Steve Coogan.
Yeah, because they kept putting actual real clips in of Jimmy, and it was like, Steve Coogan's doing such a good job of impersonating Jimmy Savile that we can't tell the difference. It was really good. Yeah, I love Steve Coogan.
Yeah, you do, don't
Alan
you?
Partridge.
Yeah.
Brilliant comedy that, isn't it? Absolutely brilliant. And it's the trip with Rob Brydon, that's really good as well. They get their impersonations because they're both big impersonists. I think they both worked on Spitting Image back in the day, and they both love doing impersonations, do the impersonation offs, as it were. So they really enjoyed that, and he's done quite a few films as well, Steve Coogan, hasn't he? And
I think he was good for it because he's comedy. I know this sounds weird, but if you'd have got a really serious actor doing that, or one that had a bit of a wappy sense about him, it could have sent them weird. Like the Bob Batman, what was it? No, Joker thing. But because he's a comedy man and he has that comedy vibe going through him, I think that's probably what saved him with that. Because otherwise, it's a serious role to play as Jimmy.
Oh yeah.
And I think it's because he's also a nice person as well. Steve Coogan.
Yeah, he comes across that way to me. I think he's a nice bloke, and
not on any lists.
Very good comedian, eh?
He's not on any lists.
What on it? Well, it's not all out yet.
I know.
But end of the day, not everybody's going to be guilty on them lists. No. It's going to be a percentage. It's going to be a percentage of dodgy people. Who they are, who knows? Yeah. We digress.
Now we're going to go into reality TV and the Great British Bake Off. Again, another one that you've got me into that I now love.
It's a good show. They've had loads of different presenters, and I think they've all brought something to it that that benefits the programme, because it is just a cooking show at the end of the day. But so the presenters kind of make the show have a bit of a laugh with the contestants and things like that. And obviously the judges, have a bit of a laugh as well, don't they? And it's quite a good show. Quite homey.
Yeah, it feels good.
It? Yeah, feel good TV really, and you could just sit there and relax and watch it and get hungry, which we generally do. What did you say last time?
I always say can we watch it when I have chocolate night, which is a Friday and a Saturday. Yeah. And if you wanted to have it before, it used to trigger me because I couldn't have any chocolate watching it.
I need to eat while watching Bake Off. That's what I've said.
7 chocolates.
And you're still hungry after watching that. But
I do like it. And then I'm going to skip a few and go in, because then we go straight into Apprentice, but we haven't this year, have we?
No. I don't know what's happened there. I don't know whether it's usually on around now. The 18th rings a bell, and I don't know why. But they've got the... I've forgotten, they've got a reality kind of whodunit kind of, I don't know, what's it called, treason, or what's it called?
I don't know.
There's some
Oh yeah, I don't know what it is.
with black hair. What's her name? Does Strictly Come Dancing?
What's her name?
Claudia Winkleman.
Yeah, that's it.
That's it. Yeah. Never watched it, so not 100% sure. Have we not got that? We have got that. First Dates has just started again.
Yeah, and that's
Enjoy
actually
that.
filmed in a restaurant that we went to when we went to Bath.
Yeah.
In the Botanist. We've been there. It's nice, isn't it?
Yeah, it's the Botanist restaurant in Bath. Whether it still is the Botanist, Bath,
I think it is.
I think it is. Yeah, because they had the hanging kebabs, didn't they?
I like First Dates, and I like First Dates Hotel as well.
Yeah. Some of the people on it trigger you sometimes, don't they?
It's actually interesting to see where we're at. And just, there's some really nice stories on there, and there's some really, it can be concerning actually, I think.
Yeah.
The way some people can be and the way they act. It's like the mother and son that turned up on a double date, and you're like, whoa.
Yeah, she was a bit.
Yeah.
And you move on from Fred on that, so there's the Gordon Ramsay, Gino DiCaprio and Fred.
Yeah, I've gone off that, me. Gordon, Gino and Fred.
Yeah, they just started to go a bit wappy, didn't they?
Yeah, Gordon does me in a little bit, but Gino started to really do my head in.
He started drinking and doing drugs a lot, didn't he? And stuff.
Becoming really erratic and whatnot, and I just got sick of it. It was that stupid that it seemed staged, and I just got, I'm sick of this.
And then we move on to the Grand Tour, which I like, which is Clarkson, May and Hammond, which I think all these programmes are trying to replicate now, the old Top Gear. And obviously they've managed to do it with the Grand Tour, and they do it forever. I think they can do it forever because they just do it so well, and they're the first people that did it. And ever since then, people are trying to replicate these boys out, girls and days out, and they do it the best, unfortunately. I think it's Clarkson probably makes it.
Well, there's been an accident now on it, haven't they? Because they push it too far.
Yeah, Freddie Flintoff's hurt himself, hasn't he? He was driving a topless trike or bike or something without a crash helmet. And obviously it's crashed, and his face has just gone on the road, I think. And it's, he's really hurt himself. And it's like, you'd think in the health and safety culture that we live in, that would say, well, hold on a minute, there's no roof on this vehicle, you need to wear a helmet, and he didn't. So, yeah. Bad on you, BBC.
Yeah. Clarkson's Farm, another good one.
Yeah, Clarkson, he's
He's Marmite, people are the ones
as a person, maybe he's not the best bloke in the world. He's probably comes out with some stuff, he's probably as bad as me, I come out with some right crap at times, and probably don't mean it. I better not mention Meghan Markle, eh? No, it's because Clarkson did, you see.
Not on here.
No, what I'm saying is Clarkson.
I know.
That was his faux pas.
Yeah.
He mentioned something about Meghan Markle and what do you call it? Game of Thrones. But yeah, we enjoy
We've
it.
been to Clarkson's Farm, haven't we?
Yeah, we've been.
Packed. It was packed.
It was busy, wasn't it? You couldn't get in shop. Were you allowed in the shop? I can't remember.
Yeah.
I think you were, but it was like 2 people, because it was in between COVID times, wasn't it, when they opened up and decided to do eat out to help out and eat out to give everybody COVID. I think it was, wasn't it? Crazy days. So yeah, we enjoy. He's just fun to watch. He's Clarkson. He's an idiot, but he does stupid things, and we enjoy watching people do stupid things sometimes. You know what I mean?
I think there's too much seriousness at the minute. There's and I can do it on my channel where you're constantly having to mind what you're saying, because there can always be a kickback, and I think there's too much of that at the time. I think it's affecting people. It is affecting people at the minute. People won't admit it, but it affects people.
Yeah, you've got to watch everything you say.
Yeah.
You've got to watch, like you just said, don't mention Meghan Markle. You know what I mean? It's like you've got to watch
the same sentence. Oh my god.
You know what I mean? You've got to watch what you say all the time. And whether Clarkson has got those blinkers on, I don't know. Sometimes if he puts his foot in it, he's done it many a times. I think lots of times. Dragon's Den started back, I think.
I like Dragon's Den.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see Gary Neville on it.
Yeah.
See how he does. Not my favourite footballer, but because he used to play for Man United. But I don't know. As a pundit, he's very biased. The team I support, but he's usually fair enough, fair enough. And I think he might be quite good on Dragon's Den. We'll see.
I think it's a good programme. It's giving people chances, isn't it?
Yeah, but it not only that, it gives them a shop window as well. Because even if they don't invest, people go, oh, actually, that's quite good.
Yeah, I've done stuff like that and gone, I'm going to go get that.
You know, and there are actually people who've done Dragon's Den, didn't get the investment, and are now multi-millionaires on the back of what they put on Dragon's Den. So it gives them that, you know, advertisement for what they're doing. And even if the dragons don't see it on the day, and I think some of the dragons actually have invested later on in some of these things.
They all do. I think what's his name does that on The Apprentice. He did that with
Ali
Tropic.
Sugar.
Susie Ma. He does it.
She won.
No, she didn't.
No, I'm sure she won.
No.
Sure she
No. No, he approached her afterwards.
I can't remember. I thought she won.
And if you think about it, how many people do you actually hear that have won it and are still going? And yet Susie Ma from Tropic is still going.
Yeah, you don't hear much of any of them really. So we've done Apprentice.
Susan Calman, I like.
Yeah, she does what we want to do basically. Travel around and do video. You know what I mean? Live the high life. Doing videos and sharing it with you lovely people.
Yeah. I do like her. I
didn't like
first,
I couldn't do with her first. I've got to admit. I don't know what it was. Something in me triggered, I think. But she's brought me around and she's all right. She's really good.
I think she's also a breath of fresh air. She's another breath of fresh air, but in a different way.
Yeah.
Because you know, Celebrity Land at the minute is all slim, fillered faces, hair all done, makeup perfect. So you throw that's rammed down your throat, and yet she's the opposite.
And she does it a bit more class than Jane McDonald.
Yeah, like with the crew, because she does like Susan Calman cruising now.
Yeah, she took over Jane McDonald's role.
Yeah, we used to watch Jane McDonald do that, and I didn't like Jane McDonald. Can't stand her.
I didn't mind her to begin with. It's just she just went a bit.
Yeah, she was another one that started off really good, and then I don't know though.
Maybe she was always the same.
Yeah,
We just got sick of her.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Poor old Jane McDonald.
Anyway.
Sorry, Jane.
Hotel inspector.
Yeah, hotel. Alex Polizzi. Love
Yeah.
Alex Polizzi.
Yeah.
What a businesswoman. She knows what she's doing. Great on hotels. And very good series. I've really enjoyed watching those. I also, I used to enjoy the Gordon Ramsay where he used to rescue restaurants as well. Kitchen Nightmares.
Yeah.
Used to watch that a lot. And he's gone into the hotel one. He's done a couple of seasons on hotels as well. Hotel Nightmares.
And she attempted restaurants, didn't she, at one point?
She did a restaurant series, yeah. Did
They were looking for a Michelin-starred chef, weren't they?
They're looking for a chef, yeah.
It's a bit strange when people branch out. We can branch out, can't you? You have to stick to the same thing.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, hoteliers need to be able to run restaurants, and people who run restaurants might want to put rooms above them. So, all very interesting.
Rich house, poor house.
Yeah, it's probably quite a British thing, this one, I'd have thought. But it's one of the old Channel 5 documentaries that they seem to have, which we quite enjoy.
Yeah, so it's a teenager.
No, Rich House, Poor House is where the people in the rich house swap with people who live in a poor house. But usually people who are living on benefits or something, and who literally have pittance to spend. So that they go on the weekly spend, monthly spend,
spend.
Yeah. So basically, the people in the rich house get whatever the poor house have to spend, and the people in the poor house get to spend whatever the rich house get for that week, and it's quite eye-opening for both parties. I think a good few times it's been inspirational for the people who have got stuck.
Yeah.
Who are stuck on benefits, or they're stuck in a job that they don't like, on low pay, and they've got ideas of how they want to progress, but they just don't know how to do it. And it's got, again, I think it started where the people who've got businesses and they've got big houses and they've got they've got quite a lot of money now. They're looking to invest in people as well, so it's quite Dragon's Den-y, as it were.
Yeah.
So it didn't. I don't think it started out that way.
No, it didn't, did it? And it's been a couple that started doing it now. They all seem to be doing it, don't they? Which is, I suppose, is good in one way.
Yeah. It's. But then again, people might just be going on it to try and get some money. But I don't know. Hey ho.
What's the one with the teenagers doing then?
So that is. I don't know. What's it called, that one? Where they're taking a teenager. So it's, I can't remember what it's called now, but say it's a rich person's daughter. And Donald Trump's daughter goes and lives. Donald Trump's daughter goes and lives with a poor family somewhere, and they learn to live a normal life, as it were, and not this extravagant lifestyle that they live, going on holidays every other week and stuff. Donald Trump's daughter's never ever been on this Channel 5 TV programme, by the way. never. But yeah, so it'd be some kind of rich person, usually quite...
Yeah, what's it called?
They're usually quite unworldly, aren't they, these people? And they live... Their life is just quite sheltered, and it's just they've got money to burn.
Because a lot of them come from parents that have had nothing, that have had to work for everything.
Is it something skinned? Something skinned. I'm sure something skinned's in there.
Know. And then because they've not had to work for it, they're quite cautious and spoiled, aren't they?
Yeah, and so that's an interesting one as well. Channel 5 does do quite a few of these kind of fly on the wall kind of documentaries kind of stuff. Probably do a few too many.
I used to watch Benefit Street years ago. Is that still on?
I don't think it's that programme on, but they've probably done something similar. I used to like watching the ones where the bailiffs go around.
Oh yeah, jamming.
I know.
What's that called? Don't pay, we'll take it away.
You can't pay, we'll take it away. I used to enjoy it. And there's the one on the other side called The Sheriffs Are Coming.
Watches it a lot.
Because they call them the sheriffs.
You're not as bad now, are you?
I don't think they've been putting them on, to be honest with you.
Homes Under the Hammer's a good one as well.
Yeah, we like that one. That Homes Under the Hammer's brilliant. That's been going for absolute eternity, hasn't it? And House, what's it called?
Escape to the Country and A House Through Time.
Yeah, well, A House Through Time is completely different to Escape to the Country and Homes Under the Hammer, though. But
Escape to the Country is good. I like that. But
as a historical programme and a bit of a learning thing, House Through Time was brilliant. David, in what? Oh,
he was at the King's coronation, and he's an historian, isn't he?
Yeah, was he not on
history
that Meghan and Harry documentary? He was on that. David what's his surname? I'm rubbish with those kind of surnames, but he's really good historian.
Really good. That, and they stopped doing it.
Yeah, I don't know why they started. I think they did 4 seasons, so they did 4 houses. One of them was in our hometown of Leeds. I think one was in Bath. Was it Bath that it was in? One in Liverpool and one in Newcastle. And basically, they look at one particular house from the day it was built to now, and look at every single person who's lived and what their lives were like. And it's all very interesting of all these different people that passed through these houses. And it goes back about 150 years or something, 200 years, doesn't it, in some of these houses. And it was, it's very, very, very worthwhile watch if you can catch that on any of these catch-up TV plays.
Back in Time as well, Back in Time for school, when they've done Back in Time for tea, haven't they?
Yeah, and Back in Time for the Corner Shop.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. That was a BBC thing, wasn't it, with Sarah Cox?
Yeah, where they go back in time. The Corner Shop one was good.
The Corner Shop one was good, that was interesting. And they did a school one, didn't they? I don't know if they've done any more again. Another thing they've probably run out of ideas for. Which is kind of what we're getting there, aren't we?
Final thing is At Home with the Furies, which we both enjoy.
Yeah, I fancied it, didn't I?
Yeah.
and you were like, I'm not watching that. I don't think I'll enjoy that at all. And I'm like, you might do. You know what I mean?
I love it now.
Yeah, you love
buying
it.
books and clothes and everything. Wanting to go seeing books.
Claire's buying books and all sorts. Yeah.
Planning trips to Morecambe, you name it. I'm
Dressing me as Tyson Fury, she is.
I do like it though. I do like him as a family. It's because he's different as well, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a bizarre life they live, but
Yeah.
but you know, horses are courses. That's what he does. That's what he does for a living. He's a showman, end of the day, and that's what he does. But yeah,
That's our list. What's your list?
yeah.
I've enjoyed that. Have you got any ideas for other talks we can do about this? We could do favourite music, aren't we?
Yeah. Well, so I'm doing a music vlog. I keep wanting to say blog.
Vlog
It's
is when you're
vlog,
travelling
isn't it?
about. This is just a video.
Is it?
Yeah.
Well, it's the same thing, isn't it? It is what it is, isn't it?
Vlogs when you're writing, vlogs when you film, vlogs when you're travelling about.
Yeah, so we're doing a Desert Island Discs kind of video. We can't really use that because it's copyright, but we're going to do something of our favourite music. So, I don't know, we're going to pick 5 favourite albums or 5 favourite songs, depends where we go. And then I've got an idea of where we can move forward with it and maybe do some kind of music club where we look at artists every month and from different ages, so 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, and then maybe move genres and just have a look and just look at and try and open his mind to new music that maybe we wouldn't normally listen to.
Yeah.
I think that might be a great idea. So more on that when we do the video. I think Friday or Saturday. I think we're going to do that video, and we'll look on that. But I'm tempted to do the theme tune one at some stage.
Yeah, favourite theme tunes.
TV theme tunes.
Yeah. Any other favourite things that you'd like us to cover? Let us know in the comments. If you want to leave a comment but not sure what to put a TV in the comments or a camera.
Yeah, definitely. And we will see you next time.
Thanks for watching. Like, comment and subscribe. See you later.
So long.
Bye.
Yeah, bye.